Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. And before I start with our little project, which is a little treat box that takes care of wrapping up these conversation hearts, which I know are ridiculous but are my favorite candy. Thank goodness they're only available in January and February. Otherwise I'd be in real trouble. But it is celebration time, and I'm gonna grab, it's celebration time, which means that for every $50 that you buy that does not include shipping and taxes, you get a free gift. And there are two levels. Excuse me. There's the $50 level, which if you spend $50, then you can get this set for free. There's designer series paper, all kinds of designer series paper, which is fun. Cute set. This is really a good set. It's got really good sentiments on there. I've used it a couple times. This coordinates with the stamp set that's in our mini catalog that's effective until the beginning of May, I believe. These pals, which I will demonstrate in a different video, but some really cute things. The reason I'm bringing it up is I don't normally fuss at telling people to join and that kind of thing, because that's kind of a personal decision. However, you can join. And this period of time, their special for joining is, first of all, it's $99 and you only pay tax. There is no shipping. For $99, you get $125 worth of stamps or anything you want in any of the catalogs that are active. You can choose one of two options. One is this glass mat. It's tempered glass. It's got measurements on it. Cleans up very easily. The silicone pad, which you can put a stamp pad on or your brushes, and you can dip ink in here and do all kinds of watercoloring types of things. And then our new chamois, which I have misplaced. Oh, there we go. Which is a bigger, thinner, and more flexible than our purple one. It works great. I put it in a stamp case. You can fold it up, but it doesn't stay like that when you take it out. I punched 3 holes in it so that if it was drying out, it wouldn't get moldy. But it's a great deal. Option 2 is an additional $30 worth of products. So for $99, you would get $155 worth of stamps. Okay, spiel is over. I'm going to get to the business of showing you how to make this. If you are viewing me on YouTube, there is 2 project sheets for this. There is the template on how to cut out the paper, and then the instructions, which I have to correct because I goofed on them, but I will have them fixed before I post them. But you can go to my website, stampmesilly.com. If you have any questions or if you'd like a new catalog, you can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com or go to my website and click on Contact Me. And then if you want to purchase anything and you don't have a demonstrator, you can go to jandufour.stampinup.net, or at the bottom of this blog post, there'll be the items that I use to create them, and you can click on any of those as well. All right, now we have the fun stuff. Let me get rid of all of this. Stick that up there for now. So we are going to make this cute little box, and I'm not going to slide this off because I want you to be able to see it, but it folds open. So I will show you how that is made. First of all, you need a 4x6 piece of cardstock, and then you need a 4x5 1/4. Again, all of these measurements, once corrected, will be on my website under the project sheet. And then all you need to do is score it. Let's put this aside. Let's see, I think you can still see them there. This is an empty box because, did I tell you it was my favorite candy? Already ate it. All right. And I have a few more to show you as examples, and they're all empty too. All right, we're going to start with the easy one. It's not really the easy one. It's the back one, the one that's 4 1/4 by 4. And you're going to score it all the way around at 3/4. So you can just do it quickly like this. And yes, I have the measurements for where it would be on this side. But when you're doing it with people around you or they're talking and stuff, this is just an easy way to remember it. So I'm just going to fold them down briefly. I will burnish them when we get serious about doing the project. I'll just have that aside. Now, your 4 by 6 piece is scored a little bit differently. Along the 4-inch side, it's still 3/4 of an inch. Oops, 3, holy cow. Oh, I'm using the wrong end, probably. What is going on here? Holy cow. Oh, you know what? There's a bunch of stuff in there. What was I doing? Okay, let me quickly cut a spare piece of paper. I can use that for sentiments and doing other things at a later date. So we're going to go 4 by 6, which is conveniently right there where the arm is locked. And we'll try that again. Hopefully I got rid of that stuff that was in there. I'm not even sure what it was. Okay, on the 4-inch side. You know I never re-record these, right? This is just the way it is. I don't know what's going on. Okay, and the other one is at 3 1/4. I won't have any problem with that one. Okay, when you turn it along the 6-inch side, you're going to score it at 3/4 at the bottom. We're going to say this is the bottom. And then you're going to score it at 3 1/4 and at 4 1/2 and at 5 1/4. Well, that was traumatic. Not really. All right, I'm going to put my Simply Scored away. Make sure your Simply Scored is clean in the tracks. I'm going to just go ahead and quickly fold all of them, and then I will burnish them. And these will be folding in different directions. And if you're a purist, I know it's really good to fold them and score them on the other side. But truly, I'm making a box for candy, and it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to just go ahead and score the sides. And then, because technically that one would be up, this one will be back, and then this one will be this way, and this one will be back. You will figure that out, and believe me, if you fold it this way, when you get there, we can just fold it back the other way. It'll be fine. And then let's burnish this one, because we didn't burnish those when we were... All right. Now, we need to cut out some corners. This is the smaller one. It is not to size, so don't be confused. But I basically have cut out each of the corners. I am not angle cutting any of them. I'm making them straight cuts, and I'm cutting them right down the center of the score mark. This particular box doesn't do as well with the angle cut, simply because everything is on the square. There isn't any bulk underneath it, which is part of the reason, and I don't have to fold anything anywhere. So it just works out fine. And you have a piece that looks like that. This is actually the back. Now, for the front, it's a little bit different. Here is this. This is the bottom, and the top has the 2 folds, and then the bottom has that one. So the bottom is just like the back. We're just going to cut it. All right, now, when we get to the top, we're looking up here, you'll notice that it comes down 2 blocks. So the first score mark and the second score mark, we're going to actually take out. So it's going to go down to the second score mark. I could have done that a little bit better. All right. And then we'll do that on the other side. So we've taken out those two, and again, these are straight. We don't want them tapered. The only other cut is right here, and that's because this bends. That's how it shows. So all we're going to do is cut to the first score mark, reverse it, and do the same thing. We're not doing anything else but that, so it'll look like this. So this is the top, bottom, and this is the top and the bottom. Let me get rid of all my papers. And then I'll take this aside, and we're going to assemble it. And it's so very easy. You take the front, and you want the glue on the bottom of the front. And the reason for that is because we're putting the back, we're attaching the back, and I want the flap from the front going to the back. I'll show you what I mean as I put these together. I want to try to get these straight. I had one go cattywampus on me. But so this is the front of it, and I wanted the flap opening to go to the back. So that's why I did it that way. Now we're going to go ahead and decorate this with some DSP, as you can see here. And the DSP that we're using is More Adorned. I think that's what it's called. Most Adored. My apologies. It's beautiful paper. It's foil on one side. Here is a sample. Obviously, I used this sheet to go, but so you have all foiled paper, beautiful foiled paper. I don't know if you can see how pretty it is. This one's gorgeous too. Love me some plaid. And then some flowers. On the other side, there's only two colors other than gold. There's Real Red and Fleur de Flamingo. And you get the typical things. Some people around here would call it cattywampus. We'd call it crush where I come from. But anyway, it's crooked. That's what I was trying to tell you. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. And we'll put that away. Okay, so now we've got the front and the back. So what I was getting at with the paper was you need to cut some DSP. Just cut yourself a 2 1/4 inch strip, which is what this used to be. This is what's left of it. Just a 2 1/4 by 12. And then the first one for the bottom is actually square, so 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Remember, this is our front, so I'm going to go ahead and put that one. And again, this is all on the project sheet. I don't have to worry about it, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in, and that gives us about 1/8 inch all the way around. The next piece is the 2 1/4 by 1. And it's interesting, I'm going to show you some other samples because I always make more than one. I won't say a bunch, but I always make more than one. Sometimes I'm trying out things. They're all very fine, but this ended up being my favorite, which is the simple one. And when I say simple, it's good for beginners. It's good for quick projects, even if you're very good at this. It's just a great way. Oops, don't put your hearts upside down though, because that will look funny. It's just a great quick project in its simplicity. And like I said, I'll show you the rest of them. This is probably my favorite. So there you have it. We've got all of that down. And then we're going to take a piece of basic white, a scrap. We're going to use one of the sentiments from Softly Sophisticated, and it says, "I really appreciate you." I chose that because you can kind of use it for other things as well. You know, if you're not doing a Valentine thing, you can give it to someone in You Are My Thoughts. And of course, it's very pretty. The reason I used this was there's an embossing folder in the bundle instead of a punch or some dies. And I'm going to use that, I'll show you the next one that I made, the next box I made. But for now, we're just going to use real red. And when you stamp, a good idea is to keep it down for a second so that it has the opportunity for the ink to absorb into the paper that you're using. Then I used a punch that's 1 3/4. And I think I got that wrong too. I think I put 1 1/2. Well, there you go. Oh, maybe I am supposed to use, nope, that's 2. All right, 1 3/4. And you want to center it. For this box, I centered it because it was simple and I wasn't going to do anything else to it. So we'll just stamp that out. And again, without it being fancy, no dimensionals, just a basic, quick. I'm going to use my third hand just to make it easier for you to see. My hands are not inside, but I'm just going to center it on this bottom section and try to make it straight. And there you have the sentiment. Now, there's only one more thing you have to, well, 2 more things you have to do. One more piece that you have to glue. We want to glue just these 2 pieces to these 2. And we want these on the outside going to the back, just like we did with the bottom. They went to the back. And you can see, like, I can make it wrong. You have to be careful that you're squaring it up at the bottom on both sides when you glue. So I'm going to start with one side. Push this down. It's not quite in the right spot. I'm not doing that other flap. I'm just doing this one flap. And then I'm going to fold it back. And the most important thing at this point is to square up that bottom. Make sure that the corners meet in the right spot. If it doesn't completely stick, because it's hard to press, there's nothing on inside, you can slip your finger in there. I'll show you another trick in a minute. And so that is squared up at the bottom. That's the most important part. And then we're going to do it again on this side. You don't want to put the glue on here because you might go up too high, and you do not want any glue on this section. So go ahead and put it on that bottom outside flap. Another way to easily be able to press is after you pull it in and you square it up, make your box work what it's made for, slide your candy in. Then you have something solid. See how it slips because it's glue? But this way you have something to press against. And I'm pressing down on the glass mat too. So I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Right now this slid and it is not exactly straight. So I'm going to try to push that into, there we go. Yep, that's just as part of the score mark. Which is why you want to cut right down the middle of the score mark. All right, there you go. And that is your box. Now, closures, there's different ways you can do it. You could just go ahead and do this and have them, shake it out. It would be heavier because there'd be something in there. I kind of like the idea of it coming down. And so I wanted to feed these to the inside. Oops. Both at the same time. All right, and then this just folds down and you can close it. Now, how do you close it? You could put a Velcro dot on both sides on the inside and just leave it with that. No ribbon, nothing. It holds it together. It will stay there. I wanted to leave it open or without any adhesive or anything. But I was not super happy with the way these things stuck out a little bit. So my solve was to use 18 inches of ribbon, which I know that's a lot of ribbon in one shot. I am not making hundreds of these. If you buy one spool of this ribbon, you can make 20 boxes because you want to cut out about 18 inches. Actually, if you do 17, you probably have enough for like one more. So you could do 21. I'm going to use my third hand. Actually, I was using my fourth hand. You weren't seeing that. My third hand is these reversible tweezers. My fourth hand was my belly, which hopefully isn't in the shot. It doesn't look like it. Anyway, I did not make a real bow. I did a faux bow. A faux bow. Let me get that around here and pull that tight. Get this out of the way. And when you pull it tight, it closes off that gap. And that's what I was looking for. I wanted the gap gone. I'm going to center this a little bit better all the way around. How cute is that? And then I'm going to clip off. And here's where I'm saying you could probably use 17 inches. It's about an inch. 17 inches, and then by the end of the spool, you might be able to get a whole other one in. So that's it. A simple box for my conversation hearts that I love. I try not to stock up, but they're only available till about the end of February, and after that it's gone. So I have to be very careful. But let me show you a couple of other things that I did with it. Here are my two basic, I would call them. And then this one I used, I'm not sure you can see this. I used the embossing folder. I wish I could tell if you could see this. I did it for the front and also for the back. Hopefully you can see that. I can't tell until I review the film. But anyway, and I did just the simple thing again, only I kind of off-centered it when I punched it out, so there was room for a gem. Also, I did not go all the way around the box. I just tied these two together with this. This kind of hangs over with the big bow. And maybe you don't notice this as much. It's not horrible, and most people who don't make things aren't going to notice it. But that's another one that was cute. Then I tried using the DSP for the whole thing, which is sturdy enough to make. I made it exactly the same. I did go around the bottom. This time, though, I backed it with a 2-inch circle of red, real red. And again, I elevated it and I used this gem. Now, where did I get this gem? This gem is our regular rhinestones, our basic rhinestones, and I colored them with alcohol inks. So I have a couple more here that are red. I had a yellow one. The reason I did the yellow, whatever, it was Daffodil Delight, was because I used this one, which is actually the reverse side of this one. I used our More Dazzle paper, so it's nice and shiny. It's more like for someone you loved rather than an acquaintance, because it's got the hearts all over it, and you've got the gem. I was thinking of putting the yellow one on there or the Daffodil Delight one, and I just didn't go with the More Dazzle. But this one's a little more sophisticated, if you will. And instead of the red, what is it called? It's actually sorbet bordered ribbon for this. And it's not exactly, but it really goes well together. This one is gold on gold ribbon, which is a carryover from, oh no, actually it's part of the annual catalog. So I used that. This time I did go all the way around, tied the faux bow. But that's just another way to do it. If you have any questions, again, you can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com. You can order from jandufour.stampinup.net. And again, if you're on YouTube, you can go to Stamp Me Silly for the project sheets. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. I post once a week, unless there's a flash sale like free shipping, and then I will send you a second one during the week, but it's usually just once a week. I really appreciate your patronage. It's been an exciting last year. I went from 2 subscribers, my 2 sisters, to 202. Yay. I know that doesn't sound a lot to a lot of people, but it made me very happy to see that people were actually following me. So if you're interested, go ahead and press the subscribe and the notification bell so that you get an email that says that I have posted. That's all I got for today. Thanks so much. Bye.